The Internet of Things is the term used to describe the interconnection of devices through the Internet. For instance, imagine if your car connected to a GPS and the Internet and would turn your heat up as you drove home from work, or monitored maintenance and your shared calendar and automatically scheduled you for an oil change. Imagine if you could look at the contents of your refrigerator or cupboards and generate a must-haves list at work for shopping on the way home. The first electronic machine-to-machine communication was from the telegraph, invented in 1832 by Baron Schilling in Russia. His device was comprised of a set of keys and galvanometers connected by 6 wires. This prototype was, in effect, the predecessor to almost all modern communications. On May 23, 1844, Samuel Morse sent the first public telegraph message from the Supreme Courtroom in the Capitol building to Baltimore, Maryland. A skilled telegraph operator sending Morse code can type 40 words per minute. Compare this to the first dial-up modem, which was 300 baud. As modems expanded in availability and performance, rates jumped from 300 megabytes to 56 kilobytes. Banks connected their ATM machines over the PSTN. Newspapers would stop their own print shops and farm the printing out to specialized print shops, and they would deliver the media over modem. On October 29, 1969, the first message was sent through ARPANET, the predecessor of the Internet. Remote monitoring played a big part in the space program. The Apollo program that took us to the moon wouldn't have been possible without the advanced monitoring that connected the Flight Control Center with the rocket. In the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, an entire floor was outfitted to monitor the data acquired from the Apollo project launches, and Apollo 13 was an amazing success story about how machine data can be used. When problems happened on board, Mission Control and the astronauts worked together with the data to make mission-critical decisions. The first website was created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991. At the time, the large pipes of the Internet were 45 megabit copper. But in this age of high-speed Internet, very large pipes, available to the masses, are enabling people to connect nearly anything they want to. By 2009, the number of devices connected to the Internet exceeded the number of people connected. But in 2014, gigabit networking for the home is available and expanding. And as we connect more and more devices, the Internet of Things has become mainstream. IoT can be broken down into 3 very simple parts. The first part is a node. Any endpoint that would be communicated to or from is a node. The second part is a gateway. A gateway bridges the node and the Internet by handling the specific protocol, such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or wired LAN, that the node would use to communicate. The third part is the cloud. In the cloud, data is analyzed and stored and used to perform actions on a node. A day in our lives with the Internet of Things. Smart controls in our houses make it easy to connect our lives to our technology. An alarm clock is more than just a way to wake us up in the morning. It can also signal the hot water heater to start up, no longer needing to use energy to keep the water hot until we need it for a shower. Our coffee maker can start, letting us wake up to the smell of fresh brewed coffee. In the winter, the thermostat can increase the temperature of the house before we have to get out of bed. All of these events automatically adjusting to our schedule by just changing the time on our alarm clock. We leave the house in the morning in our connected car.
No, for a collection of microprocessors, you're awfully touchy.
Wrong. It's just that my circuits function better when we operate in a reality mode.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
Ovens and microwaves can automatically set the correct temperature and time for a recipe on a smartphone. Checking what is in the refrigerator and what needs to be purchased while in the grocery store. The washer and dryer sending an alert when they are finished.
How will we know when they're done?
Don't worry, the machine will call you on your cell phone.
Really?
According to a freshly baked Hewlett-Packard Company study, a worryingly high 70% of Internet of Things devices, including sensor and connected infrastructure, poses vulnerabilities that hackers could easily exploit. By not putting security as a number one priority, IoT may frustrate and anger users from the very beginning. Imagine having your smartphone control of lights in your home taken over by the neighbor's kids. That would be merely annoying compared to them accessing the IoT device in your door locks and letting themselves in. More worrisome would be allowing unfettered access to the data that IoT generates. For instance, Google has made it perfectly clear that they want into the IoT realm, going so far as to invest $3.2 billion into home automation company Nest. They certainly aren't doing that to sell gear, based on the business model they have made for themselves, mining data from their users to sell. Currently, there is no real governing body, either technological or political, to come up with restrictions and security measures, leaving this mostly to the producer. So far, we have shown some of the ways IoT can entertain us, and some ways that it can make our lives a little easier. There are much more important reasons the Internet of Things are important in our lives. New wearable tech for monitoring medical conditions is being developed. Imagine a heart monitor worn as a necklace that will notify your doctor when an irregular heartbeat occurs. The connector heart monitor may be able to detect the irregular heartbeat long before the symptoms are felt. If the past is at all representative of tech, it is clear that IoT is going to happen. There is too much money involved in it, and the companies that have worked thus far on it have invested enough money to show commitment. Nike has a shoe that monitors your runs, automatically updating your online running log. But the real purpose of this isn't to tell you how far you have run, but to enable Nike to better market you. We are continuing to become more and more connected and integrated with technology each passing year. Children are growing up using smartphones and expecting things to already be connected, like their phone connected to a speaker over Wi-Fi. Gadgets like smartwatches and whole home automation are starting to become reality, not something you see in a sci-fi TV show. We can turn off water flow in the sink with our smartphone. We can lock the doors in our house with our smartphone. Our cabinets and fridge can even tell us when we need food. The future of the expansion of IoT is endless. As it seems now, most of the players in the IoT development game are out to sell products. As an evolving technology, we know that there are always startup pains felt, but we hope that in the end they find a balance between the betterment of the Internet and finding market data. In the end, IoT isn't going anywhere anytime soon. IoT is here to stay, and as the concepts and technologies grow in popularity, they also grow in the integration in our lives. This is the future of technology and the future of our world. We are moving closer and closer to a completely connected planet, whether it will connect to our peers halfway across the planet or connect to our fridge who is telling us that we need to buy more milk. As IoT continues to grow, the possibilities will only be limited by imagination. Marketing will be changed to target specific audiences. Imagine an electronic billboard that can change the message based on knowing who is on the highway to see it. Imagine a GPS that can show traffic congestion based on the speeds of other GPS units on the same road. Find an open parking spot near your destination, or make a reservation at a hotel on your route.